Hello, this is a Bechstein Model 5 grand piano that's 2 meters long, made in 1896, and it's just in stock. I've just been doing some fine tuning and some finishing off touches, and I'd like to take you through a couple of those. Now, we've bought, restored and sold quite a few of these grand pianos, as you'll see from other videos that we've made in the past. So I'm not going to take too long on this one. You can look at some of the others, and I'm trying to bring out a specific point on each one that's of interest for that particular one. And in this case, we'll just listen to the tone. They're all quite, although they're quite similar, we do them from about 1885 to 1920 normally, and really the 1885 one's no worse than the 1920 one. They're just very different. They're all excellent pianos, very stable, guaranteed for 10 years, and we do everything to them really. As you'll have seen from other videos. What I want to focus in on here is I want to look at the dampers here, and just to show you something, as I've been finishing it off, I've realised there was an adjustment that wasn't done. So let's look at the last one here. The damper's lifting off to just above the strings, and as I press the pedal down, it takes the damper further, as you can see. Now it takes it a bit too far, so look at the next one. That may not seem that significant, but that extra distance means that when I play the note, I can feel that damper bouncing back onto my finger. There one, that's pretty, you can see it bouncing back down again. Goes up and bounces back down because it's going up too high. So the pedal's lifting them off too much. I need the pedal to lift them off so that it's just slightly more than where the hammer, where they stop when I press the key down. So if I watch this, goes up a little bit more, but too far. So I'm going to take that down a bit because you can feel the strangeness in the touch as they bounce back onto your fingers. Perhaps going further away it might be more obvious to see, but I can feel it in my fingers and it's not comfortable. That's often an adjustment that gets forgotten, and it's a last minute one really. So if you look there, see, that takes them further up. If you look at the ones that are down already, they're going further up. The one on the left, for instance, this one, if I press the pedal down, it's going further up. So it should go very slightly further. If it doesn't go far enough, then it feels even worse, actually, as technicians will tell you. So it's erring on the right side, but too far up. So the problem here is that the stop rail here, which it stops the dampers going any higher when the pedal's put down, is too high. So it's about 3 millimeters too high, which is not incredibly significant, but you can feel it in your fingers. So that's the adjustment screw there. So we need to undo all of those screws, let it come down a little bit lower. So at the moment it's lifting them up way above the string there. Measured it with the key, it goes to there, just above the string. And really we wanted to go just very, very slightly further, maybe about there. So let's have a look again. So it's just above the string. As I say, you mustn't get it the other way around, it'll be even worse. And so there we are. That's where it is with the key, and that's where we want it to be, and that's where it is at the moment. So just about 3 or 4 millimeters, but it'll make a lot of difference to the feel of the touch. So we've loosened all of these screws at the back there so that the damper stop rail comes right down as we press the pedal up and down, so it comes down right on top of the dampers. So now we want to see how high it should be. So now we're going to push it up the right height. So that's where the key takes it, just above, and we're going to go to about there, literally just above, and not up to here where it was before, which was causing far too much bounce back on the key, on the damper, on the fingers when you were playing it. So we're going to go to there, just to play safe really. So holding my foot on the pedal, I want to adjust to tighten these screws up here. There we go. If we tighten this screw up, it'll hold it in place. So the screwdriver is not the best fit actually, but I think that's done it, and we'll just do one more for safety. Good, I had to change my screwdriver, the other one was a very bad fit, but all 4 of those screws we loosened and then tightened them up again, so that the dampers now go up to the right height. So now the stop rail has been adjusted so that the damper doesn't come up so high, and now if we play the key, there's very little extra play. Now there needs to be some, as I mentioned before, otherwise it can be feeling like that and it's actually pushing against you, so it's really important that the stop rail isn't too low. But now if we look at it, as I put the dampers up with the pedal, you can see it rises slightly but not too much, so it doesn't kick back onto my finger and I can't feel a strange kickback. So that's really important adjustment. So that was one of the finishing off jobs on this piano. If you're interested in this piano, sorry if I went on a long time about that, but as I've done so many similar videos of very similar pianos, because we do buy, restore and sell many of these, I just wanted to show you there. You can see the talc that we put on as a kind of finishing touch. It's got graphite lubricant there and then talc here, which is what Renault do for their new pianos. So these are arbel hammers, and as I say, plenty of other videos if you want to see some more details about this kind of restoration, like for instance changing the tide action to a capstan action. So I'm going to finish this one here because it's gone on a bit too long. So that's a Bechstein Model 5 grand piano, 2 meters long, fully restored. And we've had many of these pianos, so this video is focused on one aspect of the fine finishing off of this piano. So if you're interested in these pianos, have a look at some of the other videos relating to them as well, but they're all very similar. They're all different touch and different feel, slightly different, but this touch felt strange because the damper stop rail was pushing back on the keys. Whenever I pressed the key down, you could feel a weight going back on it. Well, that's been cured now, and there's quite a few pianos I found as a piano tuner that have that problem, so maybe you'd like to check your piano if you've got a piano, and just to see if the damper stop rail is at the right height. The tone of this one is different from every other one. How do I describe this? The touch is as good as all of them. The tone is typical Bechstein, very accurate, very sensitive. Highly recommend this piano. It's a beautiful piano. Thank you very much for listening.